Okay, so this is another important topic that I wanted to get into. You may have seen when we did our training day video, where I do training days a lot, but that was the first one that I ever put up on YouTube to show you guys kind of what my process was. We watched some footage of high level play to learn from them and understand the decisions they're making. This is sort of along those lines, this discussion that I had to have, because this can be hard to overcome for some new players and some mid-level players and stuff like that. Comparing your play to other players. Doing that is important to reach a goal, right? It's good to have a representation of what the level that you want to be at one day. Absolutely. That is something that is imperative to your growth as a player, to see someone playing your character at not exactly a perfectly optimized level, but much higher level than you are, right? That can be very, very good for you to learn from. But don't fall into the trap of saying like, oh, man, geez, this guy is so good. I will never be able to do half the shit he's doing. I can't believe how good he is. I know I say it all the time, but it bears repeating, right? Getting good at anything takes time. Developing skill takes time, especially in like a new fighting game, or if you are new to fighting games, that's going to take a ton of time. And some people learn fast, some people learn slow. You have your own pace, and trying to learn at a faster pace than you're used to will just be a hindrance. You have to have a balancing act there. It's unhealthy to your progress to constantly be comparing yourself and your gameplay to someone who's playing at a much higher level than you. Like top players, for instance. You're nowhere near there. Instead, learn from them. And I don't mean learn big combos and optimal punishes and stuff like that. Not just that. I mean really pay attention to their decisions. Their decisions in neutral, when they choose to challenge and when they don't, how they defend, and then try to understand the why in those specific situations. Observe better players' good habits and try and put yourself in their shoes. Like, think about what would I have done, and if it's not the same thing, you need to think about why it's not the same thing. And if you're a spectator, there's no shame in just being impressed by really good gameplay and going along for the ride. It can definitely be fun to like turn your brain off and just enjoy high level play of a fighting game, because it's freaking cool. However, if you're a player, I'm a firm believer that you should be there with the players in the match, truly trying to understand them. And doing that will always help your play if you get enough practice doing it. And you do have to practice spectating. You do have to practice analyzing, because it does not come naturally. But once you get good at analyzing matches of other players and things, you'll be able to analyze your own matches better and understand why your brain said do this here even though you shouldn't have, or you did this here and it was a good decision. Why was it a good decision? Why in this moment was it the right thing to do? Most importantly, you should never get to the point where watching good players makes you say, I'll just never be that good. Why am I even trying? You should be looking forward to when you are that good, or at least as close to that good as you can possibly make yourself. And then someday, somebody might be watching your matches, stealing your tech and swag setups, right? Basically what I'm saying is sort of like, I'm a huge philosophy nerd, right? And when you think about the ancient quote of the unobserved life is a life not worth living, it's sort of the way that I look at fighting games. The non-analyzed match is a match not worth watching, is kind of the way I look at it. You should be really looking. You should be really, like, watch them multiple times. Choose which player you want to be in the shoes of in every rewatching of that match, right? Say, okay, well, this time, let's take Exerd. This time I want to be in Lord Knight's head. I want to see why he's playing Melia like this, right? And just watch that match, watch the decisions he's making, decide why he might have made those decisions, and then watch the match again and say, okay, now I want to be in KV's head. I want to know why his Johnny is moving like this and what Lord Knight is doing to make his Johnny have to move around and do this and things like that. So it's not only very helpful to your gameplay, but it's incredibly fun once you get used to it. It's what makes some of the best commentary teams the best, is being able to do that, understanding the game, really studying it, and really getting into the players' heads. And that's why they're able to say, oh, well, he did this here because, 10 years ago, this player punched his sister in the nose and he remembered exactly how his knuckles moved when he did that, so he reacted having that information. Just that's what makes those commentary teams so good, is they can recognize why something is happening. They know the history of the players together, they know the play styles, and that will help you in the long run if you learn how to recognize that as well. Anyway, that's all I had to talk about today. Thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.